Hello everyone. This is Kay with Pretty Conspiracy, and I am doing a little bit of a different video, kind of a podcast, because I wanted to talk about just what's been going on, because I know for me, I've been quarantined for 4 weeks now, so it's been a full month. And some people may have been, I think majority of people have been quarantined either three weeks or 4 weeks. So, and we're heading into the second month, and I was thinking, because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so this could possibly linger to June. And when I say this, being what I'm talking about is the actual lockdown or shutdown of our state. So I guess it's going to vary from state to state. But we're actually not the hardest hit, quote unquote, but we're kind of in the middle. And our peak is not, if you look at the models, like, I don't even pay attention to that anymore, because I know what this stuff is all about now. These little fake models that they show on the news and mainstream media regarding the virus, we're set to peak somewhere in early May. So, anywho, I have spent the last month pretty much self-isolating, but like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I'm introverted, so it doesn't affect me as much as it would affect someone who's extroverted and who's very social, had a full social life, but I do feel cooped up, and I don't think it's necessary about me actually just going places. It's like you want the option to do so, if you want to go somewhere, and all of that has been taken away, but when this quote unquote pandemic first happened, I think like a lot of people, first of all, I was leery. I didn't believe it because I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I don't believe half of what the mainstream media says. But then when all the sports became suspended and postponed and canceled, that week of March 11th, I did start to panic a little bit. And that's when everybody started to panic, because that's when they purposely use the sports world and these high profile athletes to push that virus agenda, to put into the fear mongering, because we as fans, and I can say I'm a fan, but I'm not a zealot fan. When I say we, I'm just using that as a general term, not me personally, but a lot of us fans of different sports, we idolize these players, and we lionize them, and they're like godlike figures. So if they're telling us that these demigods and deities have the virus, then surely we could get it. So it was to provoke the fear. It's to add to the scare tactic and to promote the fear mongering. So we seen that. We can go to hindsight, in retrospect, go back a month ago and see what their agenda was there. And I kind of figured it out right at the beginning. Now, I want to say about this particular time is that I don't watch the mainstream media. I don't watch news stations like CNN. I stopped watching them years ago. I get a lot of my news and unbiased news from YouTube. But I also take what I get from YouTube with a grain of salt as well. But I like looking at different, a hummingbird. I'm sorry. I'm looking outside my window. I've just seen a lot of strange things over the last couple of days. Like, I don't know. I guess you can call them signs, but I take what I was saying. I digress. Is I take everything with a grain of salt, because even on the internet, you're gonna get now. Because I'm a conspiracy theorist, I do kind of go into the realms, veer into the realms of the doomsday thinkers and the survivalists who are on YouTube. And I remember I was binge watching a lot of their videos, and I went into their territory, and I had to kind of venture back, because that can be scary too. The doomsday thinkers are the ones who are telling you it's martial law. They're coming to get you. They're going to implant you with the chip. They're going to FEMA's coming to get you in their tanks, and they're gonna drag you. And then you had the videos that went viral of them dragging a guy off the bus in Pennsylvania for not wearing a face mask. So they're like, yeah, they're gonna do all of us like that, round us all up and send us to FEMA camps. Bill Gates, and we know. We know about Bill Gates. We know what role he plays in this. Hopefully we do. Because if we don't, I'm going to give you some videos that you can go watch to enlighten yourself, to understand what we were dealing with and what we are going to be dealing with. But it seems to me, the more and more we find out about what's going on, the less and less fear I fear. The less and less fear I feel, because I know that this is all one big mindfuck. But some people are still very, very afraid, because a lot of people are still very asleep. But so I have to stay away from the doomsday thinkers and those YouTubers, because they drive the fear even more, because you're thinking martial law, you're thinking you're getting locked up, you're thinking you're going to a concentration camp. And I can't say that this is not all true. This could very well happen as well. But this is something that I am inclined to believe. What my gut is telling me is that this is more of a test. But this is to lead up to bigger things happening. Okay? We haven't seen the big things yet. This is just the beginning of that. So it's kind of a test to see how we will react to certain things. And so the doomsday thinkers, you gotta be You can listen to them because a lot of what they're saying is legit, but they use fear tactics as well. And they're kind of extremists in their thinking. They're very extreme in their thinking, so I had to back away from them. And then, but there are a handful of people that I've been listening to for quite some time, for years. And their videos, I'm going to say, it will empower you. It will not instill in you fear. It will give you knowledge and great information. Okay? And the first person I was going to say on my list is Dayz of Noah. And Dayz is, Dayz is with a Z. So it's Dayz of Noah. And his channel's been out for a few years now. I've been watching him at least since 2016. And I'm also on his Patreon. He has a Patreon as well if you want to contribute to that. But I just recommend first, just if you've never heard of him, to go to his channel and just look at some of his previous videos. He uploads sometimes inconsistently, but he does very quality content and very well put together documentaries. Another one is Chronicles of Judah 144, who is I've been listening to Chronicles of Judah 144 since like 2018, I want to say 2017, maybe late 2017. He's been up for a couple years now, and his channel is, you're gonna find a massive amount of videos on this channel. Now, his take on the coronavirus and all this that we're going through at this particular moment is actually on his Patreon. So if you want to go to his channel and you've never visited his channel before, I recommend watching some of his older videos and then going to his Patreon and becoming a member, and you can get some really good key information. He's another one, just like Dayz of Noah, who is very, very knowledgeable and does really great content and documentaries. And that's Chronicles of Judah 144. Some recent ones that I just know, actually, Amazing Lucas. I've been subscribed to him for a couple years. He's been putting out some good stuff. A couple of channels I just discovered during this whole situation, this pandemic, is Amazing Polly. She's one of the few women that and now she's not a doomsday. Her videos, oh my goodness, she connected the dots between Fauci, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, Michael Pence, Vice President, and Bill Gates, how they all interlinked. The World Health Organization and Center for Disease Control, how all of that linked together. She did a wonderful video, and she broke it down seamlessly. And her name is Amazing Polly. And another person, his videos, Dr. Rashid A. I think his last name is Butler, Buttar. Butler. And he is a doctor who has been really on a crusade. And he is a crusader. And he's passionate. And he lays down so much information. He tells you where this quote unquote biological man-made disease came from and how long it's been around. He kicks open doors, knocks down doors, and he gives you that information. A lot of times they take his videos down, but he'll upload them. He's very controversial, but he breaks it down. And there's another YouTuber, Aaron Doughty. That's Doughty. And I just discovered him. He's kind of I want to say, and maybe he's into metaphysics or whatnot. Maybe he's a new ager. I don't know. I only watched a handful of his videos, but I like the fact that he was saying that this is a great awakening. And this is a time for enlightenment for a lot of people, because I feel like that's lost in a lot of this confusion is, this is going to be messed. A lot of stuff is going to be fucked up for a long time. But just like Chronicles of Judah 144 said, this is a time of enlightenment. We're going to see a lot of people, a mass awakening of people who are asking a lot of questions, who are waking up to what this reality really is. And that's a good thing. It's going to be a lot of sadness, though, and a lot of trauma, because what they're realizing and they're waking up to is something that's very traumatic. They're going to have to put away their old ideologies and theories and thoughts and programming and conditioning and indoctrination that they have dealt with since they were children. And they're going to realize that they've been lied to their whole entire lives. And that is extremely traumatic, to realize that pretty much everything you were taught by your parents, your teachers, your government, TV, news, newspapers, internet were lies. They were lies. And this great awakening is happening, and we're not going to be considered just batshit crazy. We're not going to be considered just conspiracy theorists. We are going to be, because I think that this particular time that we've had, for a lot of us during quarantine, we're going to see we've had so much time. Those of us who've been quarantined in the house and we've been researching, and you haven't been watching the mainstream news, hopefully you have turned to YouTube or to some other alternative outlet to find answers to questions, because you're going to start Googling all types of things. And like right now, a lot of people are having existential crises. And existential crises brings about enlightenment. It brings about self-discovery, self-reflection, self-awareness, questions of existence, questions of what this whole agenda, this whole confusion was about, this distraction that we've been going under. Because it's something bigger than the pandemic. It's something way bigger than that that's happening. But I feel like we don't know exactly what that's going to be until much later. But I feel like a lot of people are angry now. That's where you see the protesters in the several states. Because people, first we went from, them putting all this fear into us, this fear mongering and us being afraid, to then us being bored, to then us being panicking because a lot of us have lost our jobs. We're on furlough. A lot of us are stuck in the house. Those of us, those of us who are still working are working in these conditions. Oh my God, you gotta sanitize and whatever your work section every day. It just it's a burden. It's something that we've never seen before and we're not used to. So, and now you got people who are pushing back because they're mad. They're angry. And I said this, I was saying this to someone. I said, there are going to be a lot of angry, mad, upset people in the next few months. When this is settled down, there are going to be a lot of pissed off people. They're going to be angry because they're going to realize they were lied to. And they were bamboozled. They were deceived. The wool was pulled over our eyes. And it was funny. You know, it's like Trump knows what's going on. This was pre-planned. This was planned months ago, if not years ago. Bill Gates, all of these people, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, they all knew about this. This was planned, pre-planned. And a lot of people are waking up and realizing that. And I think a lot of people feel that way, but they probably won't say it because they don't want to sound crazy. But hey, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm used to it. I'm used to being called crazy. So those are some of the YouTube channels that if you haven't checked out, you should check it out. And we are going to see a great awakening. If there's one good thing to take out of it, is that this is going to change a lot of people's lives. You know, to know, first of all, life is short. So people shouldn't fear death anyways. You know, when you come to the realization of your own death, you should never be afraid because that's going to happen regardless of anything. And we don't know exactly how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So the awareness and the realization of our own death should never frighten us. With that out of the way, that being said, we don't live very long. We don't live very long. Life is very short. So with that, the mortality thing should, and that's a good thing too. A lot of us need to be made aware of our own mortality. And because a lot of us don't want to think about it. And then a lot of us needed to have a self-awareness, a self-reflection, and to ask questions. I know when I started to have my spiritual awakening many years ago, it has been a long journey. It started in 2011, but it was not an instantaneous thing. It was something that was very slow and gradual. And it's very painstaking. It's very traumatizing. But I thank God for the fact that I am not blind. You know, that I'm not walking around aimlessly just following the herd. I thank God for that. And a lot of the stuff we're going to see is going to be very traumatic. It's going to be very frightening. Wars and rumors of wars. Them talking about the chip. Them talking about 5G. Them talking about the New World Order. Them talking about a one world currency. Them talking about, getting the chip or getting vaccines and the depopulation of the world. A lot of this stuff is scary. It's very scary. We just trying to live a simple life, right? We just trying to live and make some money. It, you know, but we got to be ready for that, and we got to be prepared for a lot of what is coming to us. But I think with knowledge, we will be prepared for that. With knowledge, with self-awareness, with the blinders taken off our eyes, the scales falling from our eyes, like Paul on the road to Damascus in the book of Acts. It's an interesting time. It's a scary time we're living in, but it's a wondrous time as well. You're going to see a mass awakening. A lot of people are going to start waking up. A lot of people are going to start seeing through all the bullshit, seeing through all the lies, the mainstream media, and the elites and the government and all these quote-unquote trusted organizations. And we're going to start waking up. And so that was the little message I wanted to deliver today, because we've been going through this for a month and a half now. And like I said, we moved beyond the point of panic. Now you see the protesters, they're going to the point of action now. They need to take action. They're going to take action. And I like that. So, interesting times, good times though. Vast awakenings, enlightenment, spiritual awakenings, great awakenings, self-awareness, enlightenment. A lot of people waking up. A lot of people are going to see very clearly. Very clearly. So this is Kay. And this is my podcast, because I just wanted to check in with you guys. Give you guys some channels if you haven't. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have already heard of the channels that I listed. But if you haven't, check them out. And just, look at the information. And like I said, take everything with a grain of salt. Just don't listen to these YouTubers or to any person telling you this type of information and just take it for fact, or just take it as the gospel truth. Do your own research. That's why I like to listen to different people. I like to read different information. And I come to my own conclusion, because there's a lot of theories going on out there. There's a lot of misinformation, a lot of craziness going on out there. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, study it, listen to it, analyze it, ask your own questions, and then come to your own conclusion. And what you think. It's not about following somebody blindly, because they could lead you astray. So you always ask your own questions and come up with your own conclusions. So with that said, this is Kay. This is Pretty Conspiracy, and I'll talk to you later.